Hello everyone, welcome back. Guys, in this video we'll talk about try with resource in Java. So we'll talk about how exactly try with resource works, what is the purpose or the benefit of using try with resource, and we'll also talk about the enhancement that was done as part of Java 9. Okay, so that being said, let's begin the video. Okay guys, so try with resource can automatically close the resource like Java InputStream or a JDBC connection once you are done with the resource. So resource has to be both declared and initialized inside the try. So this is the must-have thing, guys. If you see here in the try itself only, we have declared and initialized the file output stream object. So guys, this is basically the syntax of try with resource. So you have to declare and initialize the resource within the try itself. A resource can be anything. It could be a file, connection, network, file input stream, output stream, buffer reader. It can be anything. Even you can have your own custom resource. So for that, your Java class should implement the auto-closable interface. So guys, when the execution leaves the try with resource block, any resource opened within the try with resource block is automatically closed, regardless of whether any exceptions are thrown either from inside the try with resource block or when attempting to close the resources. Okay, so guys, important point that try with resource block, it automatically closes the resources. Second point, that a resource has to be both declared and initialized inside the try itself. Alright guys. Now guys, this try with resource block was introduced in Java 7, right? We can have our own custom resource by implementing auto-closable interface. In Java 7, there was a limitation basically. The limitation was that you have to declare and initialize the resource in the try itself. So to avoid this particular limitation, there was an enhancement done in Java 9. So in Java 9, we can create an object outside of try block and then we can use the reference. Alright, so guys, we'll talk about everything in the demo section. Let me start the IDE. Let me give you some examples to make you familiar with the try with resource block in Java. Alright guys, here we are. I'm going to create a new Java class and I'll call it demo. Okay guys, so in this demo, we'll read a file. So I'm going to create a new variable here. I'm calling it as a file name and this file is pointing to a file which is there on my desktop. Okay guys, let's see how to read a file. Okay, so basically read file and I'll pass the file name. Okay, create method. Okay, so let me make it big for a second so that you guys can see the code here. Okay guys, so I need a file reader. First of all, file reader, let's call it file reader. I need buffer reader, so buffer reader br and then one string line. Okay, so now I can have a try block. So here obviously I will use my file reader equals to new file reader. I'm getting the object of file reader class. I'll pass the file name here. Okay, and then now I'm going to create the object of buffer reader br equals to new buffer reader. I'll pass the object of file reader. Okay, now I'm going to put a condition here while. So line is the string where I'm going to read the data, br.read line. While this read line is not equals to null. Okay, so null sys out, print the line, print the text here. Okay, this is the try block. I'm gonna have a catch block here. Now we have got two resources, file reader and buffer reader. So I have to make sure that once I'm done with the processing, once I'm done with the file reading, it's my responsibility to close the resources. Okay, so for exception a dot print text, and in finally block I'm going to close the resources, right? So I'll put a check here. If file reader is not equals to null, or say my buffer reader is not equals to null, I have to close the resource, right? So file reader dot close, and same goes with buffer reader dot close. What it says, okay, initialize with null and surround with try catch. Okay, so guys, if you see here, let me run this program first and then let's see the output. Okay, so I'll just add a sysout here, sysout read a file without try with resource block. Okay, so let me just run as a Java application. So guys, here I can see the content of the file. So guys, if you look at this particular function here, the sole purpose of finally block is to close the resources. So I'm closing file reader, I'm closing buffer reader, right? So the sole purpose of finally block is to close the resources. So to overcome this particular challenge, right, in Java 7 we have got something called try with resource. Try with resource block was introduced in Java 7, and the sole purpose is to automatically close the resources. To automatically close the resources, I'm going to create a function try with resource in Java 7, and I'll pass the file name here. Okay, let's go and provide the implementation. Now guys, as I mentioned, how this try with resource works is that you have to declare and initialize the resource in the try itself. Okay, so I'm gonna have our buffer reader here, buffer reader br equals to new buffer reader. So I'm creating the object of buffer reader class right here in the try. Okay, and new file reader, I'll pass the file name here. Okay, what it says, let's go and check. It says okay, add catch block, all good. And now I'm going to read the content by using the object of buffer reader br dot read line is not equals to null. I'll do one thing, let me put this line into 1. Okay, and then sys out to print the content of line. Okay, it says that there is no. Okay, so here I'll just add a sys out here. Sys out try with resource in Java 7. Okay, let me run. Okay, so try with resource in Java 7, I can see the file content, guys. So the point is try with resource, right? You can see that with try block we just have got the try and then curly braces. With try with resource you will have this bracket here, right? And inside the bracket you are going to declare and initialize the object, declare and initialize the resource. Okay, so this is what the try with resource block is. And now if you look at it here, I'm not using finally block to close the resources. This try with resource block will automatically take care of closing of all the resources. Now guys, I can have multiple resources. Can we have multiple resources in try with resource? Okay, so let me make it very quick. I'm just going to copy everything from here. So I don't want to have this file reader here. I'll just create the object of file reader as well in try. Okay, so file reader, let's call it file reader equals to new file reader, and I'll pass the file name. Now guys, to declare multiple resources we have to go and use of the semicolon, right? And then here I'm gonna use buffer reader br equals to new, and here I'll just pass the object of file reader. Okay, so guys, to declare multiple resources in try with resources we have to use a semicolon. Okay, now here also I can just sys out multiple resources in try with resource block, and I can run this code, run a Java application, and here you can see multiple resources in try with resource. We have got the file content, right? So guys, the point is when we use try with resource, there is no need to make use of the finally block to close the resources. Try with resource block will take care of closing all the resources used in the try. Cool. Alright guys, now we'll talk about an enhancement. So there was an enhancement done in Java 9. Okay, so try with resource in Java 9. I'll just pass the file name. Okay, so I'm going to explain like what exactly the enhancement was done in Java 9. Let me just go and provide the implementation. I'm going to copy everything from here as it is. Okay, so this is try with resources in Java 9. We'll talk about the enhancement. Guys, when try with resource block was introduced in Java 7, the requirement was that we have to declare and initialize the object within the try itself, right? Just to avoid this particular situation, to avoid this particular problem, in Java 9 there was one enhancement done where we can create the object outside of the try block, outside of the try. Okay, and then I can provide the reference to that resource. So basically I'm creating the resource outside of the try, and I'm using the reference of that resource in the try. Okay, what it says, okay, add throw, and here I'll just run with try catch. So guys, in Java 9 or higher versions we can declare and initialize an object outside of the try, and then we can use the reference, right? Now let me just go and run this code, run a Java application. You see try with resource in Java 9, and I can see the file content. Okay, so guys, this was all about try with resources in Java. Alright guys, thank you for watching.